Hey everyone, this is Patrick Gall, the Homegrown Entrepreneur. I wanted to let y'all know that I have been getting y'all's emails and y'all's feedback, and I really appreciate all of the support I've been getting recently for this project. It means a lot to me to continue to do what I love. Uh, so also on top of feedback, I've been getting a lot of requests and questions. And the most recent question I've been asked that I feel like I can get off the table here is, how did you start the business? And that was very simple. This is going to be a very short video. So the first thing I did when starting this business, of course, was I Googled, how do you start a business in North Carolina? I found a link, and all the links that I talk about and all the websites and even the email that I've received about this, I will be posting that in a video that I'm going to be doing later today that I'll show you the how-to tutorial of what I did. Just follows me on the internet, I believe. So the first thing I did was I Googled that, and it took me to this link. So the link was basically something that would show me how to do this. Actually went to the Business Link North Carolina. That's exactly where it takes me to. So I'll show you the link. First thing they say is, what's your name? And check your name through these databases. I think it's Trademark and probably county databases, maybe statewide as well. But basically you just go in there, type the name, make sure it hasn't been taken. So good, you've got a name. Next step is business structure. How do you want to do the business? So the way, in terms of sole proprietorship, LLC, partnerships, corporations, that all depends on what you're doing. Basically, you can do a sole proprietorship for anything you do. The one thing you want to think about when starting these businesses are, well, I guess it's two things. The big one for me was liability. What do I have to offer that I could possibly be sued for? And as long as I keep that under a tight net, then a sole proprietorship works for me, because you are the sole proprietorship. So now that I run Homegrown Entrepreneur and own it as a business, if I don't know, if I sell something to somebody and it blows up in their face, they can come after me as a person as opposed to the business entity, because it's a sole proprietorship. You are the business. So that's why I chose that route. And that's why this video is going to be so short, because sole proprietorship is very easy to file for. So I won't go through the rest of them. We can do that at a later date. So I chose sole proprietorship. And you do that if you don't want to use your name. You actually don't even need to file anything if you just want to do business as Patrick Gall. Like, I just do business as Patrick Gall, marketing. They give you a few guidelines for if you want to just use your name. But if you want to change your name, then you have to file a form. And the form is on that website that I used again, Business Link North Carolina. And that form is called a DBA, Doing Business As, or Assumed Name Certificate, I believe is the name of the form. Filling out the form basically lets you change the name of, your entity, I guess. Like, because it is you are the sole proprietorship and the sole proprietor. But when checks are coming, you can get a check to this new entity, which is the Homegrown Entrepreneur. So when I fill out a Assumed Name Certificate or a DBA, I put the name Homegrown Entrepreneur on there. And the next step is what I did next, which is take it to your county of deeds, which is just, for me, it's just walking distance, 5 minutes away. I live downtown. And paid $26 and filed it. Now it's filed with the county. I am a sole proprietor at that point. The next thing I did was emailed that Business Link North Carolina. It actually went to, I emailed the Business Link North Carolina just to ask them, like, hey, I'm doing this. I'm doing podcasting, might do some marketing consulting later, and do some sort of marketing sales. Just put down everything I may do so I can scale into it. Sent him an email, and I got an email back about 3 days later with all the information that I needed. And mostly it said, no, you don't have any special permits or restrictions that'll keep you there. The permits that I'm talking about, sometimes businesses require permits if they're going to be doing certain things, like maybe construction will need something like a permit or some sort of an insurance for the jobs. It looked like liquor and tobacco sales would have been quite testy. So it really depends. When you're coming up with a business, you really want to know what you want to do, the liabilities that you may see. And the final thing, I said there were two things earlier when thinking of the business entity. The other one is the tax implications. So with this sole proprietorship, the way it works is any money I generate from my salary and any money I generate from the company all get lumped up together, and they get taxed together. All, at the same incremental rates going up, first 12,500, no tax. Or I'm not going to go over the brackets. I can post a link to brackets if you guys are interested, but the other thing you get to do as a sole proprietor is you can expense things now. I read yesterday or 2 days ago that you can expense up to 300 square feet of your house or apartment if that's how much you use to do your business in. If you're using it as your primary office, you can expense up to 3,000 square feet a year times $5. So that's $1,500 I can write off of my taxes. Now, what that means is let's say I make $50,000 in salary and $50,000 as the homegrown entrepreneur. I made $100,000. If I'm right, the IRS knows that. They've as my job, they are already taken out the taxes, but as the homegrown entrepreneur, I'm supposed to hold on to the money until the tax time comes up. Then I pay out the taxes. But if I took off that $1,500 for my business location at my apartment, then I would have made, wow, that's crazy. I can't do the math that quick. $98,500. Sorry about that. $98,500 is what I would have made according to the IRS. So I'd only get taxed on that much because I've expensed some of it. And you would be amazed to see what you can expense. Any capital that goes into starting up your business is expensable. And what I mean by that is if you have upfront costs for buying a computer, phone. Actually, I'm filming on the new iPhone here. I decided I need to upgrade my life. Never had a new phone before, so I'm excited for this. And it gives me like a handheld basic super camera that also functions as where I'm going to be distributing my media through. So it's just makes sense. All of this is very expensive. I mean, you have to be careful. You want to read everything closely. Make sure that you're not, fraudulently filing things like you drove 60,000 miles that year and your car only reads 20,000. Just be careful. I've read several things from CPAs. They said it's not common that their customers get audited. You just want to be careful not to, expense more than you made totally. So like if I made $50,000 this year and the business did nothing and I expense 80,000, they said you want to be careful doing that, which would effectively mean I get a lot back in my taxes and I pay into nothing, So it's very exciting. So basically what I told y'all was how to start a business. That's that. The one thing I'm doing now that wasn't explained was looking for the trademarking. I want to trademark my brand now, and it seems to be quite a process. So now I have a lawyer involved with that, just in case. That's more protective. But there seems to be a thing. I was going through the trademarking site too. There seems to be a thing about a common law where if you've been using the logo and the branding over time, then it seems like you might have a more stable argument if somebody's trying to trademark your brand or logo or try and use it and you try and stop them. I think there's an argument to be made there, but trademarking is more just a protective feature. If this thing blows up, I want to be able to protect the brand. Otherwise, that's how to start a business. Later, I'm going to show you the how-to on YouTube so you can kind of follow with me on what I clicked on, where I went, and I'll post all the links down there, and I'll post the email that I got back from the Business Link NC. Oh, and for all of you people that pay state tax, I'm from Texas, so this is new to me. North Carolina, I did have to go on North Carolina Department of Revenue's website, which this was still all included in the links I was clicking on. They were telling me to do this. I went to the North Carolina Department of Revenue and I filed my taxes with them because the state wants their hands in some of what I got. But North Carolina is beautiful, so they keep doing great work for us, so I'll keep paying their state taxes and being okay with it. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching again. Stay tuned. I'll have some more information later. And I've got my journal coming up at 4:30, so I look forward to posting about what the week's been like, successes and failures, and moving forward. So thanks again. And this is Patrick Gall at the Homegrown Entrepreneur, signing out.